Yo, haha, Magnificent. What is good, YouTube? Your boy Magnificent coming back with another quick video. Today we got the PUMA Shibui cat MB2, at least the Rick and Morty series. I wanted to take a look at the slide because I already did the Nitro foam, at least LaMelo's first shoe, at least the first generation. But that slide, the Nitro foam, was good with the little rubberized outsole. And I'll actually show that kind of later on with some comparisons because I have the Yeezy slide as well. I know that was like a fan favorite at least last year and the year before. All of them have their different versions of foam, but when it comes to resistance, things are a little bit different. So when it came to the Shibui slide, the Shibui slide has IM EVA foam, which is injected, molded, kind of like a foam design. So I wanted to see, how the cushioning was, how the resistance was, and we'll do the comparisons from there. But without further ado, man, let's get straight into the review because I don't want to waste any of your time. And if you notice, your boy is wearing some Rick and Morty gear. That should be a surprise, or, well, you'll find out later on in the week. But right now, we got the regular standard or PUMA box that comes with the slides. Has pretty much all the information for the sizing on the back, at least the size chart. This is a US size 13, so I think on the slide you'll see 12, but 12 is UK. So, that said and done, man, let's open this bad boy up. It shouldn't be too hard, if I'm not mistaken. But this is from that Rick and Morty release where the Rick and Morty shoes, Rick and Morty hoodie, and all that stuff released. And then I went to the Foot Locker website and noticed that there was a Rick and Morty slide. So, of course, your boy, Rick and Morty fan, I gotta get it all. So let's just open this bad boy up. Take it right here. Like these things, yes sir. These are nice, man. I like the design and the details that they put in the Shibui because this slide represents everything about the Rick and Morty show. Let's break it down for a second here. And actually, I'm just gonna rip the tag off. And the tag itself has like 2 QR codes, which I'll show kind of like right here. I don't want people to looking at the QR code saying, the reason why, because one of the QR codes will take you to the website. I think it's this one right here. And the other QR code is basically saying, hey, share my location. And then it'll take you to another web link with a history and rundown of PUMA as a whole, collectively showing you the materials, how it was made, who was involved, things like that. So for security purposes, I'm going to have the QR code at least hidden or marked a little bit when you see the still photo. So let me put that down right there. And of course, when you look at this shoe, man, they even put the little foam pads in here. Let me take the foam pads out. When you look at this slide is a thing of beauty because you do have Rick. Why did I just do that? Did I really just do that? Rick. I'm thinking of the way that you guys are looking at the slides on my video, but let me just do it this way. So you got Rick on this slide, and then you have Morty on this slide. And of course, when you look at the actual slide design, you can see it's kind of like a mutation form, his regular form and a mutated form. But then you also have that little catchphrase, wubba lubba dub dub, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, I caught one of the episodes where they kind of explained that it's kind of like a cry for help. I can't remember that episode, but that's what, when they asked what that catchphrase was, the wubba lubba dub dub, that's the meaning kind of came out in that one episode. And of course, you have Rick on his side. His catchphrase is "get your together." You know what I mean? So you look on the actual side, the other side of the shoe, at least the slide, you see that both of them do have that mellow feature right here. One of the things I do like about the slide is that you kind of see like it's like a flame, but the flame is actually a spelling of rare. It's kind of like what they did with the MB2 series, which I don't have just yet, but I'll review that shoe as well. But when you flip it to a certain way, this flame actually says rare, which I think is pretty awesome. And then of course you got the molded PUMA style logo on the back, and it does feature the Wings logo kind of on the top of the slide. You can see right there. It has a little casing right here for breathability. You can see that right there as well. And on the top of the shoe, you can see where it says the top of the shoe, top of the slide, it has Rick and Morty labeled on there, and a couple of PUMA decals kind of imprinted on the slide itself on both. And let me tell you right now, when you look at the bottom, this is what I like about this design. So if I were to think of how they designed this, I'm guessing this is like one mold on the upper, where they constructed this entire slide by design, and then they added this extra mold towards the bottom and kind of infused it together. And you can actually see that on the slide right here. When you're looking at it, you can see where the line is made, where everything is kind of smashed together. So this is the upper is constructed as like one entire mold, just shaped in a specific design. And then they just slapped the bottom on there. And this, honestly, this is what I was kind of getting at. When you look at this Shibui design, I usually do the resistance test. So I want to do that flexibility test to see if I can bend this. And what this tells me is that this is going to be a very comfortable shoe. So if you consider in a slide this spring or summertime, you're walking for long durations of a period of time, this will probably be a good slide for you to wear. And this is going to be very, very comfortable. Much like what you see with the Yeezy slide, the first generation, where I think they not only did EVA foam, but I think this was mixed with algae, if I'm not mistaken, and some other recycled material, but you're able to do that same kind of form. So now, I know what people are thinking. Am I saying that the Yeezy slide is more comfortable than the Shibui? Or look, I'll put it this way. This is the PUMA Nitro foam. And the PUMA Nitro foam out of all three in terms of flexibility, because I felt like this was a good slide. The only thing holding this back a little bit was the rubberized bottom, but I can kind of get why they did it, because there's a lot of cushioning towards the top with Nitro foam. You can bend it, no problem, but you're not spending that much time bending it in terms of flexibility with the slide as well as the Shibui. That makes sense. So they're both EVA foam, kind of both designed the same way, if that makes sense. The only difference is that you're going to notice that this probably feels more comfortable toward your foot because of the design of the bottom that gives you that bounce back feature where you press your foot down and it pops back up. Whereas this, by design, it has like a multi-directional outsole. You'll feel it. You'll feel your foot kind of bend in, like in the slide a little bit, but it'll form back up. It's that you don't have that bounce back as much, but it's still comfortable. Trust that it's still comfortable. And I will say that this slide is true to size. Definitely true to size. I would definitely recommend that. And there's portions, and I'll show pictures of this. There's, by design, a slight indent towards this portion of the slide where your foot will slide in, and it'll naturally conform to the bottom of your foot. And I think that there is like a ridge, like a small ridge towards the front right here, where your toes will probably pretty much sit right here comfortably. And you'll see that right there. I'll have a couple of pictures to show you guys what I'm talking about. But by design, love what they did. But the Shibui, I think this is the first time I'm seeing, or at least feeling, the Shibui injection molded EVA foam, at least on the Miltnificent channel. If I'm not mistaken, this model style foam came out last year for Puma. It's just that this is kind of the first big collab that Puma did with Rick and Morty, and they put all the Rick and Morty decals and pictures and designs on this slide. So your boy Miltnificent, man, if you're wondering, I think this ran me $50, which is kind of the same price as like a Yeezy slide. I could be wrong, but is it worth it? Definitely. Like I said, this is not a slide that you're going to put on and over time your foot's going to start feeling tired. But the foam design, most foam designs, when you get a slide, especially when it's this thick, over time when you're wearing it, if you're standing up, you're not going to feel tired. You're actually just going to feel real comfortable. And I can see anybody wearing this inside, outside your house, on the beach, doesn't matter, because if water goes on this, it's foam, it's going to repel, and your feet's going to dry fast. So you can't really go wrong with the Rick and Morty. This is definitely going to stand out, especially when you're on the beach. But the Rick and Morty style Shibui Cat, I think they labeled it Puma Shibui Cat MB2. It was kind of like a weird labeling, but yeah, you get it. Your boy Miltnificent, man, I just wanted to share this. Plenty more where this came from. I got a couple things coming through that I kind of want to review and show you guys on the Miltnificent channel. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the Shibui Puma MB2. I just had it. See, it's I don't like the labeling. Puma Shibui Cat MB2 Rick and Morty. It's like a tongue twister. But let me know, comment below, let me know what you think of the design of the slide. In my opinion, I feel like I definitely got a few things in the closet that I'm gonna wear this with, and I can't wait for the rest of it to come. But your boy Neverson, I am out. You guys stay blessed. It's your boy Magnificent and Firebox teaming up because we would like to give you guys 10% off any Firebox merchandise. All you have to do is click the link in the description below, use code MillyMilk, and you're on your way. I am out. You guys stay blessed.